We are going to talk about your daydream today. The one, you know, the one that you may or may not be working on, the one that you know is there, that you are parking or have parked or have forgotten about. So let's talk about your daydream today, because it's getting close to the end of 2022. Great time to be thinking about what it is that you want to create for yourself moving forward. So we all have a daydream. Not everybody, I'm going to play with a filter here. No, I'm not. Not everybody acts on their daydream. Why? Well, the first thing is, the first reason, of course, is fear. A fear of something, whether it's a fear of failing or a fear of, not knowing how to do it, or a fear of family not, supporting you. Whatever the fear is, just remember that fear lives in our head and we create it. Therefore, we can actually uncreate it if we want to. So the fear that you have, I'm going to use failure because it's such an easy one to use. So many people have a fear of failing. If your fear around your daydream is failing, then the first step likely will never happen. And when we have the fear of failure, just remember that it's in our head and we create it. Yeah, you might fail. I am the queen of fail. I want to write a book on how to embrace failing, because failing can be fun. Why? Well, not necessarily fun, certainly not in the moment, but there's nothing that I've done that I've failed at that I haven't learned something or multiple things that have ended up being incredibly valuable. Or I've met people, amazing people, through the process of my failing that have allowed me, that I've connected with in other ways. So the fear of failure is completely disabling when we don't even start. It's very similar to perfectionism. So many people are perfectionistic. Perfectionism is a big piece of our world these days. And the thing that lives in the box with perfectionism is procrastination. So for a lot of people, if they don't think they can do it perfectly, then they procrastinate or they never actually do it. And there's nothing wrong with any of these. This is not judging. This is just shining a light on something that might be lurking in the shadows for you, that are keeping you from your daydream. So why can't you bring your daydream to life? I mean, you think about the billions of people that live on, millions and millions of people that live on the planet right now. And how many of them are bringing their daydream to life? And the daydream can be huge or the daydream can be small. The daydream can be, I want to be a mom next year. The daydream can be, I want to write a blog. I want to start a doggy daycare. I mean, doesn't matter what the daydream is. The point is, we all have daydreams. Some of us act on it and some of us don't. Think about what the dude that owns Amazon, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name. He's owns $150 billion now. He can pay off a couple of countries' debts. He had a daydream. Look at Meghan Markle. She's a mixed biracial American that married a prince. She did it. People create their daydreams every day, all day long. The thing is, they don't let fear get in the way. So yes, we got fear. Let it ride shotgun and come on the ride with you. Doesn't mean you don't have to have the fear. It just means the fear isn't allowed to disable you from bringing your daydream to life. So the second thing is manifesting. And for those of you who have sort of been following the podcast series that I've done, I did a big one on manifesting a while back. So you can go to Soul Conversations with me and just look up manifesting hacks. So there's a few different things around manifesting. First of all, does it work? Yeah, it does. I'm going to tell you a story about manifesting in a second, a couple stories. Yes, manifesting works. It's an energy that you put out into the world and it's matched. The challenge is when we manifest from the wrong place, or we don't realize that we're manifesting from a place that's giving us exactly what we are manifesting. So that is, first of all, a place of neediness. So there's a difference between mature manifesting and needy manifesting. Mature manifesting is when you manifest from the emotion that surrounds the concept. Needy manifestation is when you manifest from a place of, why won't it work? I'm going to just try harder. I'm going to push harder. I need it to work. If it doesn't work, then what's going to happen? So that neediness creates an energy that's matched by the universe. And you can shift that. You can shift that to manifesting from a place of maturity. The first thing is you have to really, truly believe that it's available to you, because your subconscious is pretty powerful and it knows when you're trying to trick it. You can also over manifest. And when you over manifest, you're manifesting from a place of fear that we just talked about, or anger, or jealousy, or denial. When we manifest from those places, the universe is going to match it. And you might not even realize you're doing it. Again, it's not a judgment. It's just, I'm just trying to shine an awareness on something that might be in the blinders. So taking a look at where you're manifesting from might give you a little bit of an idea of why you're getting exactly what you're manifesting, or you're manifesting crickets. So the next piece is the what if. Oh, itchy nose. The next piece is what if. I think what if lives in the box with fear. And it goes something like this. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if no one shows up? What if no one buys the product? What if no one believes me? What if my family thinks I'm crazy? What if I can't do it? What if you can? What if you can? What if your family supports you? Who cares if they do or they don't? I mean, that's just the way she goes, right? Is it going to hold you back from your daydream? Why not? Why can't it be you that writes the book? Why can't it be you that grows the garden? Why can't it be you that has the baby? Why can't it be you that has the house? Why can't it be you? It's so interesting to, when having a coaching conversation with a client, how many what ifs come up, and we have to wipe them off the board every single time. Yeah, what if? What if not? What if it works? So that what if definitely lives with fear, with failing, and with that perfectionism, procrastination. They're all like best friends, you know, they all sleep in bed together. The next piece is being really comfortable in your discomfort. And I mean that in two ways. So a lot of people, let's just take a really, really unhealthy relationship. Let's just use that as an example. Some people just are so comfortable in the discomfort of an unhealthy relationship that it's easier just to stay than it is to leave. So I'm going to encourage you to look at it a different way. What if you got really uncomfortable in the not knowing? If you got really uncomfortable in the discomfort zone of bringing that daydream to life. That's how it happens. That's where it grows. That's where all the steps happen. If it was easy, everybody would be living their daydream. It's not easy. We got to work at it. It's part of being a human. It's part of why we're here. It's part of our purpose is to grow and expand and learn and grow and expand and learn. And through the process of that, yep, we fail. Yes, we fail. So much fun failing. So getting uncomfortable, get outside the comfort zone, because your daydream lives on the outside of the comfort zone. Your fears live in the middle. The strategies that you use to protect the fears are next. What you're missing out on is next. And everything you desire is on the very outer edge of that zone, if you want to call it the zone. And then the other part is that now is the only time. Now is literally the only time. Like this moment right now while you're listening to this is actually the only time. Yep, there was a past and yes, there will be a future. And the only actual time is now. So if everyone took a little step every week that moved them towards their daydream, in a year they'd be 52 steps closer to their daydream, whatever it happens to be, big, small, whatever. Just taking action, deliberate, imperfect action on a regular basis moves you towards whatever it is you want, your desired reality, your daydream, your big dream. That's the other thing, dream big. So I'm going to share with you this really cool manifestation, or whatever you want to call it, daydream that I've had for a very long time. It's been percolating. unbeknownst to me, it's been percolating. So since I was really young, like I want to say, I feel like I was like 19, 20, maybe even younger than that. I always had this feeling that I was feeling and a knowing and a desire that I was going to go to Africa, right? And do some work. Somehow, I have no idea what. All I knew is that, and I felt like it was in Mali from a very young age. So now, just a couple months ago, if you've been following, I'm heading to West Africa on January 11th to do a bunch of work with a group of women who are trying to bring an agricultural business online. And this manifested out of nowhere, effortlessly. And it's because I've just always known it. All the work that I've done in all areas has brought me to this point. So this daydream is now my reality. I'm leaving on January 11th. I'm going to the country directly below Mali. So I'm not going to Mali, but I'm going to Ghana. And Africa is massive. I could have manifested anywhere in Africa, but that's what came through. So my point in sharing this is that no daydream is impossible. No daydream is too big or too great or too weird or too out there. I could share a lot of daydreams that I've had that I have brought to life, but that's not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is to inspire and encourage you to grab onto the daydream that you have, no matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, and make it a reality. Every one of us has a purpose on this planet. And I'm going to tell you a secret if you don't already know it, because I'm always preaching this. We all have the same purpose. We all have the same purpose while we're on this journey together. The purpose is to grow, to learn, to expand, and to become the best version of ourselves we can possibly be while we navigate this journey. And in so doing, then we have different callings and different missions and different gifts and different values. But we're all here for the same reason, to step in and own the greatness of who we are while we're here. And part of that is to manifest and create all those amazing things that we're here to create. Whatever it happens to be. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be small. It can be whatever feels right for you. Just do it. That's the important piece. Decide what the daydream is and start believing. Like I said, you got to believe it, because your subconscious is going to go, I don't believe you, you're lying to me. So you've got to believe it first, and then let your fears ride shotgun. You don't have to dismiss them. You can just bring them along. I have a morbid fear of outhouses. Well, actually, it's a whole other story. I actually have a morbid fear of open water, really bad. I'm sure there's lots of dead people down there that are watching me when I'm swimming. It never stopped me from doing off-road triathlons. I just was scared shitless the whole time, but I still did it. So that's a good example of just taking your fear with you and just don't let it stop you. And removing the what ifs. What if? Well, why not? What if it does happen? So I want to hear what your daydream is, and I want to hear what the next big step is that you're going to take. And like I said, if you haven't listened to the Manifesting podcast, I would highly recommend that you go back and you listen to it, because it's worth it. It really helps to clarify some things around manifesting. And on that note, I just released a new one today called Gaslighting. So if anyone thinks they've been gaslit or wants to know more about gaslighting, I just released that today. It has nothing to do with this conversation, but whatever. Anyways, thank you for being here and for listening, and I'll keep you posted on what's going on with Africa as things unfold. And let me know your daydream, because I am passionate about hearing that. Have a great day.